Hello, everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? Are you ready to exercise your speech and your swallowing muscles with lots of intent? My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic that developed the Speak Out Therapy program that improves the speech and communication in people with Parkinson's. We're going to go through the 6 speak out exercises. We're going to have some fun and continue learning about Stephen R. Covey's 7 habits of highly effective people. We are on habit 2 today, which is begin with the end in mind. Let's take a sip of water and then we'll get started with the strengthening exercises. Begin with the end in mind. How do you want your speech and your communication to be, not just for today, but for the rest of your life? Think about that. First exercise, the warm-up. I want you to lift your voice and speak out. Exaggerate. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. High energy. Speak out again. May, me, my, mo, moo. We'll do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. You notice that I had to take a breath in there. Don't think about the breathing. Just take a quick breath whenever you need it. Keep your focus on lifting your voice and speaking out. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. To help you understand how much energy you have to put forth, imagine if I just did may, me, my. I wouldn't be expanding my lungs. My vocal folds wouldn't be working the way they're supposed to. I wouldn't be exercising my tongue and my lips. You've got to use a lot of energy. Exaggerate. Let's do it one more time. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. We're warmed up. Take a sip of water, everybody. Make sure that you are swallowing with intent. Yes, very strange that you have to think about swallowing now. That's because you don't have enough dopamine. Dopamine helps to control automatic movements. Swallowing is an automatic movement. All right, exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately open your mouth. If you're using a mirror, look at it. Here we go with the ah. Ah. Good. Let's do it again. We're going to do it again. Keep the sound consistent the whole way. It takes a lot of control to do this. Much easier to go, belt out an ah. No, much harder to do it with control, but you can do it and keep the sound consistent. Ready? Ah. One more time. Good. We're done with the warm-ups and the ahs. I bet your vocal quality is starting to sound better. You're waking your voice up. Take a sip of water. Think about it as you bring the cup to your mouth. Swallow with intent. You bet when I have all of you watching me that I'm definitely swallowing with intent. I have to be careful not to spill that glass of water and not to choke or anything. So you use intent too. The next exercise is the glide. Very important exercise for swallowing. Also for having color in your voice. So many people with Parkinson's end up with a monotone, very flat voice. And that makes it hard for other people to understand you. It's surprising. We don't realize how much we rely on how the pitch goes up and down when we talk in order to understand what people are saying. For example, when you say, "How are you?" the pitch should go up. But if it's flat, "How are you?" it's really hard for people to understand. So that's what the glide is working on. Project an ah forward and slowly glide up while you're speaking out. Here we go. Stop. Good. Get as many little notes in there as you can. Ready? Stop all the way. The sound is always in front of you. You have your mouth open, you're being confident, you're using intent. Here we go. We'll do one a little bit faster. Here we go. Good. If you're missing notes when you do the glide, you're probably missing those notes in conversation. It means that those muscles are a little bit weaker. So work on getting as many notes as you can. Let's take a sip of water with intent. Then we're going to do a very slow glide for our last one. It will be very challenging, but water first. Okay, here we go with a slow, deliberate glide. Stop. Never in a million years did I ever think that I would be on Facebook, YouTube, and Parkinson Voice Project's website doing that in front of thousands of people. All right, next speak out exercise. I will do anything for y'all, by the way. All right, counting. This exercise works on re-coordinating your breath support for speech. Re-coordinating. Dopamine controls and coordinates the movements involved in speaking and swallowing. So, as you project every number forward, when you stop and take a breath, we're re-coordinating. Here we go with intent. We're going to go a little bit faster. This is a harder one, so we'll go a little bit faster. Ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Take a breath whenever you need to. 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you working at an 8 or 9? You need high effort. If you count 2, 4, 6, you're not going to do anything. All right? We're trying to strengthen the muscles we use for speaking and swallowing. We'll do it again, but we'll take a little bit longer pause when we get to the end of each line. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wait. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Lift every number. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Oh, goodness. All right, let's get some water before we move on. All right, so no questions today, but have you joined our global virtual choir? Katie's going to post the link. Please join the choir. We want to have over 300 people in it, and please don't worry about it. If you think you can't sing, you know what? Do the best you can. You will be amazed what happens when we bring the 300 voices together. You will sound amazing, and you will be so proud of yourself. And by the way, if you mess up when you're doing your recording for us, don't worry if you mess up on one part. We won't use it. Okay? I'm very sensitive to that. Y'all will look amazing, all right? Don't worry. All right, we're on to the reading. We are learning about Stephen Covey's 7 habits. And here's a statement about the habits before we get to habit 2. Let's read this with intent. Exaggerate. Project your voice over the crowd. Ready? The 7 habits will help you learn how to take initiative, develop a personal vision based on principles, balance key priorities. We're going to read that again. Read it with me. Slow it down a bit. The 7 habits will help you learn how to take initiative. Lift the voice. Develop a personal vision based on principles. Balance key priorities. Keep going. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. I want you to read it again and speak out more like you're speaking to a crowd. Imagine that you are Stephen Covey and you're on a stage. Ready? Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Do it again. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Here we go. Some quotes about beginning with the end in mind. Here we are. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life. We become what we believe. Now, who said that? When you said Oprah Winfrey, did you speak out? Did your voice go in front of you? Let's do it again. Who said that quote? Good job. Next one. Ready? Begin with the end in mind. Start with the end outcome and work backwards to make your dream possible. Who said that? Say his name with more intent. Who said that quote? Good. And if you're just joining us, if you're new to this broadcast, exaggerate the words that are in red. If you tend to rush your speech, paying attention, using more intent with certain words will help you to be more fluent, make it smoother. Let's try it again. Begin with the end in mind. Start with the end outcome and work backwards to make your dream possible. Who said that? Make sure you're speaking with intent. Next one. Something from Alice in Wonderland. Ready? Would you please tell me which way I ought to walk from here? Asked Alice. That depends on where you want to get to, said the cat. Where's that taken from? Did you say Alice in Wonderland with intent? Where was that taken from? Good. We're going to try it again. Ready? Look at it. Get ready to speak out. Ready? Go. Would you please tell me which way I ought to walk from here? Asked Alice. That depends on where you want to get to, said the cat. Where did that come from? Here we go. Ready? To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. Who said that? Did you say his name with intent? Say it again. Who said that? Let's read it again. To begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. Who said that? Okay, take a sip of water, everyone. I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to speak out. So we're working on our cognitive exercise, which means for this, you're not projecting to the whole crowd. You're still speaking out, but it's to a little crowd. All right? Say every answer with intent. Here we go. Who carries the mail? Who builds houses? Who teaches school? Who takes care of sick animals? Now, I want you to answer in a complete sentence every single word projected forward. Here we go. Who drives a bus? Who keeps buildings clean? Who serves food in a restaurant? Are you speaking with intent? A waitress serves food in a restaurant. Every word with intent. Say it again. A waitress serves food in a restaurant. That's how I want you to talk from now on. No one will ask you to repeat again. All right. Who keeps law and order? Who fills prescriptions? Let me ask you some questions and answer with intent. What pharmacy do you use? What is your favorite restaurant to go to? If it was your birthday or anniversary, which restaurant would you like to go to? And now tell me, what is your occupation, or what was your occupation if you're retired? Okay. Let's go ahead and take a sip of water. We're going to move on to Dr. Boone's words. We're getting a good workout. Tell me in the chat feature, have you joined the choir yet? Are your kids going to sing with you, or your spouse or a friend? You can sing by yourself too. You won't be by yourself. You'll be with 299 other people. All right. Exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. These are exercises to strengthen the back of the tongue. We are now back to projecting our voice over a big crowd. So high energy, high effort. Here we go. Gu la gang ga ga. Gu la gang ga ga. In front of you. Gu la gang ga ga. Next one a little faster. Ku ka mangu ka. Again. Ku ka mangu ka. Get it in front. Ready? Ku ka mangu ka. Two more. Let me hear those G's and those K's and those NG's. Ready? Gangla. 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 And last one. Kukla. Move the mouth. Kukla. Kukla. See how my lips purse? Kukla. When you look at yourself in the mirror, is your mouth doing that? Check it out. All right, take a sip of water, and guess what? It's time for the bonus reading. And by the way, I am so excited about this bonus reading. I mean, in general, I am noticing a big improvement in Loud Crowd members that I'm working with individually. The bonus reading is helping. So I'm glad we're doing it. All right, we're going to learn more. I'm going to scroll down. We had a lot of quotes that I put in here. If you're new to the broadcast, we do a reading section, and then at the end we do the bonus reading, which is much more challenging, longer sentences. This is about habit 2, and he talks about the funeral. All right, here we go, everybody. You're reading to a large crowd. Imagine you are Stephen Covey, and your microphone went out, and everybody needs to hear you. Here we go. Bonus reading. To better understand habit 2, Covey invites us to imagine our funeral. Start with to better understand, and you're going to exaggerate when we get to the red words. Ready? To better understand habit 2, Covey invites us to imagine our funeral. He asks us to think about how we want our loved ones to remember us. Start with he asks. Ready? Up and over. He asks us to think about how we want our loved ones to remember us. What do we want them to acknowledge as our greatest achievements? Say it again. What do we want them to acknowledge as our greatest achievements? What difference did we make in our lives? That should be our lives. Say it again. What difference did we make in our lives? Keep going. Engaging in this thought experiment helps us identify some of our key values that should underpin our behavior. Read it again. Engaging in this thought experiment helps us identify some of our key values that should underpin our behavior. Now, I want to bring up something. So many times in therapy, I have someone say, oh, well, this is much harder because I've never seen this before, and so it's much harder to read. Yes, but think about regular conversation. You don't have a script in front of you. You've got to get used to speaking out, no matter what you're going to say, no matter where the topic takes you. You've got to be able to do it and speak out at the same time as you're thinking and organizing your thoughts. So if you're struggling in conversation, work on the reading. The goal is to be the end in mind. The goal is to have the strength and endurance to read for 3 to 5 minutes at a very high intensity rate. If you can do that, you can converse with your family and friends and they'll hear you. We still have a little bit more time, so let's keep reading. All right, accordingly, ready? Accordingly, each day of our lives should contribute to the vision we want for ourselves. Say it again. Accordingly, each day of our lives should contribute to the vision we want for ourselves. Habit 2 involves identifying behaviors that are taking you away from being the person you want to be. Every syllable with intent. Start with habit 2. Ready? Habit 2 involves identifying behaviors that are taking you away from being the person you want to be. When our vision is clear and challenges arise, we can meet them proactively and with integrity. Start with win our. Ready? When our vision is clear and challenges arise, we can meet them proactively and with integrity. Covey states that the most effective way to begin with the end in mind is to create a personal mission statement. All right. Katie is going to post the reading in the chat feature on Parkinson Voice Project. Please go there and download the reading material. Take what we practiced today and practice later on. Unfortunately, we're not able to attach documents to Facebook, but if you practice with us on our website or go to the website later in the day, you can download the material in the chat feature. It looks like a colored piece of paper, and it will be there until midnight tonight. Okay, so if you're asleep in Australia when this is happening live, you still have time to get it. All right, just a quick funny story. I told you many years ago in the 90s, before I started Parkinson Voice Project, I went to see a counselor. This was maybe a life coach. after I left the hospital and was trying to figure out how am I going to help people with Parkinson's, I want to do this. Anyway, he is the one that taught me about the 7 habits, and he told this funny story about how he did this. He wrote his eulogy. He wrote his eulogy, and then he handed it to his wife and said, "Will you please read this?" And when his wife read it, she said, "Wow, this person sounds amazing. Who is it?" So, listen, think about it. Are you the person you want to be? It's not too late. It's not too late for me either. We can all become the people that we want to be. So let's work on it together. All right? Have a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow. Habit 3 tomorrow.